Good afternoon and happy Friday, traders. My name is David Whiteley. I'm here to share with you my results from today. I am in the process of attempting to get 20 Apex funded accounts, and it's been a rocky road thus far. I've had many resets. I've had many start overs and do-overs, and today is one of those days. So I'm going to start day one today with June 23rd, and I'm going to attempt to get these passed in the next 7 days. So I'd really like to have them passed by the end of next week. We'll see how that goes. I've learned a lot, and so of course this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you how to trade. I am here for your entertainment and your enjoyment only. So stick around if you want to be entertained by an amateur trying to figure this stuff out. So here were my 3 trades today. I had 3 trades, 3 winning trades. I have, let me see if I can show this to you so you see where I'm at. So in full transparency, half my accounts were started today. So these guys here, $50,000 accounts, I just opened today. Apex brought back their 90% off. So it was like 18 bucks for each of these accounts. So I figured, why not? I'm already trading a couple. So these are my, from here down, number 85. So this is how many times I've had to reset or restart or whatever down. Then I have 2 $300,000 accounts I'm working towards, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 $50,000 accounts. So in all, 18 $50,000 accounts, 2 $300,000 accounts. I'll have to do another video on why I would suggest, or what I guess what considerations there you might want to work through deciding which account to try, but these are the ones that I'm doing. So it was a positive day, $480 in these guys, $360 in these. The reason for that is these guys caught the first trade. I didn't find out about the 90% off until after I made my first trade. When I did, I added these guys, and so these were the last 2 trades. Okay. So right now, my strategy is to, I'm using a trade copier across all 20, just the Apex, I think it's the Apex trade copier. I'm doing a straight ratio. And so my leader account is account number 70, one of the smaller accounts. And then whatever I do there, I'm doing 4 times as many contracts in my $300,000 accounts. So that's that. So here were the trades. I left a lot on the table because I did not follow my plan. I traded scared today, so I'm happy for my winning, but I'm a little annoyed that I didn't just let the process play out like it should. I'd be much closer to hitting my goals. So here were my trades. First of all, actually, let's start in, we're going to start in gold. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with gold. Gold can really work, and then gold can smack you. So I did a smaller position size in gold here, but the price movement was very clean, and so I felt pretty good getting into it. This is what I was looking at. This is all I trade with, and honestly, I don't even have this guy on here all the time, although he's on there now. In fact, I'm going to take him off because it's confusing. So this is a 9 EMA right here, right here. We're going to make him invisible. Okay. So this is what we trade with. I trade opening range breaks, and I trade off of a 5-minute 9 EMA and a 5-minute 21 SMA. Okay. This strategy is not mine. I learned this from Robert Anderson. So Bob Anderson, the trading journey of Robert Anderson. If you want to look up his YouTube channel, he talks all about his strategy. He's got a lot more experience than I do. So I'm not trying to pretend like I'm the inventor of this thing. It's just I've adapted it a little bit, but this is what I use. So price opens at 720 in gold. I'm in Central Time, so 720 Central Time. The way that Ninja Trader candles form, they're weird. They start like, at least the way the indicator pops on here, it pops in like halfway through the candle. So most of the time this doesn't matter, but I actually start mine a minute late. So I start mine at 7:21, ends at 7:35. So first 15 minutes, price came up, price came down. Price came back up. I was a little nervous because we have kind of a double top situation going on. But when it came down, it reacted to both the midway point of the opening range, which is usually significant, in combination with this 5-minute SMA. The entry point for me is one tick above the candle that touches the 9 EMA. Okay. Now I wasn't quick enough to get my order down here. And so this candle closed. This one opened up immediately and started pushing up. I marketed into this order. Which is part of the issue is whenever I get into a trade and it's not planned, it's a little rushed. I'm nervous. Okay. And it's gold. So I was nervous. Smaller position size here, 2 contracts. In my small accounts, so it would have been 8 contracts in my bigger accounts. So I got in at 1932.4. Once this candle closed, strong push up, but it did run into this resistance level here, started kind of really hesitating. It went up, it came down, and I just said I'm going to take my profits at 33. Now, so what was that? Six ticks. Okay. So was 60, 120 bucks out of that trade. Of course, I should have followed my plan, which has a target of 20 ticks. I didn't, and it shot up here. So this thing ended up going for quite a ways, as you can see. So no harm, no foul. Lesson learned, though. Second trade was in oil, which is what I trade primarily. It tends to, at least currently, is behaving the best. So oil came. It's been dropping, right? It dropped, and it dropped into the opening. Same indicators here. It came down, it came up, it kind of trickled down here. Okay. So what I'm waiting for really is a strong push through this opening range before I feel comfortable getting in. So I did not take this first break because it was hesitating so much. I'm okay missing it if I don't feel comfortable with the opening range. Okay. This poked through, but then it held to it as it moved over. It wasn't pushing higher, and we're in a downtrend. So I went ahead and I set my entry just one tick past where it had poked through before. And I think I got a little bit of slippage on that. So I ended up getting in. You can't even hardly see this little guy here, but I ended up getting in at 67.59. And I was even more chicken on this one. Partly because we'd already pushed down so far, and I knew it had to come back up. It had to pull back at some point. So I was really cautious. And so I really hesitated at the end of this candle. So I ended up getting out 59 down to 54. So 5 ticks. Here, half my position size. So this was 4 contracts in my $50,000 account. So I sold 2 here. It really started to pull back, so I just jumped out here, and I think I got 2 ticks here. So 56 to 59, so three ticks. So 5 ticks on 2 contracts, 3 ticks on the other 2 contracts. Of course, it just tested here and pushed down. I would have got my 20. My 20 would have been, let's see, there's 59, so that would have been 39, which would have been right here. So I would have got my 20. That would have been an $800 trade. Oh, well. Then I had to leave for the day. So I had to go run some errands, came back later in the afternoon. Right about here is where I came back, just kind of watching what's going on. It did pull back. I'm waiting for it to touch this 5-minute 9 EMA. It pushed up, made a new high, right? This is the highest it's been since, way pre-market. Came down, a nice clean drop to the line with a strong reaction. It pushed down, pulled back, pushed down, pulled back. So I went ahead, I jumped in, had my order ready to go. Got in at 69.17. This one I sold the first 2 at 20. So it started to pull back again. So I just got out the other 2, and then I got out the other 2 at 25. So what is that? 17 to 25. So that's 8 ticks. So another small trade. This one I wasn't as confident in. The reason that I wasn't going to let this go, wait, I guess, for this to go to 20, because we're at the high of day. We've just been trickling, right? So there's no strong momentum pushing up. all I was banking on was a reaction to this line once it touched, right? We did push up, so we're going to come back for a test probably, and then it rolled over, okay? So I'm glad I got out on this one, but this one was a little more calculated than the two earlier in the day because of where we were at on the chart. We were at the high of day, and there just really wasn't momentum. Now, oddly enough, if I'd have waited, so this comes down, a reset of this trade is when it goes below, candles form below that EMA, okay? And that kind of resets it, because really we don't want to take anything more than 3 touches. That pretty much wears it out. So this is kind of one. It did kind of touch here. So this was kind of the third, but because this wasn't a definitive push, it was more like a half a touch, if that makes sense. But here you see we broke below it. We came above it. We didn't create any kind of a new high. We like to see a push to a new high before it comes down to really have confidence in it. But because it reset and pushed up and came down, we did have another entry off of this. So if we'd have got in after the break of this candle, which would have been 69.17, it pushed up to 24. So not very far. 17 to 24. So it did go a little ways, but not, what's that? 7 ticks. So just no momentum. But the way that I have mine set up is if it goes 10 ticks, then I'm making money. The target is 20. If I can get 10, then I'm good. That's why at the top of the day, not as confident, even though you can see it pushed. Another thing that's kind of interesting, if you look at this here, this is what's called the overnight open. So this gold line up here, that's the price that it opened at 7 o'clock last night when it opened. And sometimes you'll see this is kind of an interesting lesson here. So if you had time and you're really, really patient, here in the morning we pushed up, we had this nice little flag, this nice little bull flag almost coming down, and then this was a long trickle. It would have been a long wait. But after we came back here, we did not break down lower. Okay, so we tried to break down below this 21 SMA, but we failed. We stayed above it. This is something that we see pretty regularly, is this price will pull back to this overnight open price point. So man, that would have been nice if, maybe you got in somewhere here at let's say you got in at 69 and this guy was up here at 69.54. So that would have been 54 ticks. So not a ton, but kind of an interesting point nonetheless. So anyway, enough jabbering. That was my summary for today. I'll see if I can make one of these videos every day just to document where I'm at and how it's going. If you find this interesting or valuable, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Have you tried to get an Apex funded account? How did it go for you? And what strategy did you use? Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you Monday.